Hello everyone, welcome to ITracks webinar. My name is Garnett Weber, one of the co-founders of ITracks. We have been providing online qualitative software for the past 15 years and we're excited to share some information about online discussion boards with you today. Due to the number of people participating, we will not be able to open the phone lines, but I encourage you to enter your questions and comments into the bottom of the GoToWebinar panel. There is a comment area. We may answer the questions as the webinar is proceeding if it fits in, but we will definitely address the questions during the question and answer session at the end of the presentation. All right, well, let's get started. Online and mobile discussion boards, how do they work? The webinar presentation will be provided by Joel Schmaltz, ITracks VP of Client Development. Joel first started his career in the market research industry in 1999 with ITracks. He was hired by ITracks to oversee its Qualitative Services division. He helped develop and pioneer a large number of the online qualitative research tools in use today throughout the industry. Joel led the development of the first iteration of ITracks' industry-leading bulletin board focus group software, now known as ITracks Board. After a brief period as an IT consultant, Joel returned to ITracks in 2006 and assumed management responsibilities for the systems department and subsequently led the operations group for ITracks from 2008 to 2012. In the last few years, Joel has worked in a business development role and assisted companies leveraging technology to develop solutions that satisfy their research needs. In addition, he assists clients in finding value in transitioning their current research practices to online and mobile environments. Go ahead, Joel.
Thanks, Garnett. Really great to be here, and I'd like to thank everybody for coming today. I'm looking forward to this webinar. The discussion board product definitely is a great option for conducting online market research. Just a couple of points I wanted to just bring up before I move into my deck, and I wanted to talk a little bit about who ITracks is. We're an independent, innovative MR technology company. We were founded in the mid-90s, and we developed our first version of the discussion board platform back in the early 2000s. And we've really been known or seen as an industry leader in online qualitative research methodologies, including mobile. We've got a great mobile offer, which I'm going to share with you today for a few minutes as part of a software demonstration. Our platforms are used across the North America and also globally, as we're supported in over 20 languages currently in our qualitative suite of platform offerings. We also include a patented client viewing room in all of our technology. So some of the capabilities that we offer here at ITracks is free training for all of our users, whether you're a client and you're going to be observing from the back room, or you're a moderator that's going to be conducting the actual research. The training is free, and it's provided by our team here in our head office. We've also got mobile capabilities. We're supported on we have 3 distinct mobile apps. And then one thing that we're really becoming well known for is our video data collection and editing and tagging interface, which I'll also share with you during our demo. And then, of course, 24-hour live technical support is available here at ITracks, either through live chat, email, or telephone. So what are discussion boards? The discussion board is a qualitative research engagement, which is where people will actually connect and participate over time. Typical engagement lengths are either 3 or 5 days, but we're actually seeing a lot of companies start to leverage this technology over a period of weeks or even months, and have either what we refer to internally here at ITracks as micro-communities or longitudinal qualitative engagements. So whether it's in-home usage testing or diary-type studies or journaling over a set period of time, perhaps doing observational research with our video data collection technology, lots of things are happening with this product. We also have the ability to engage respondents with our polling capabilities, which are embedded directly in the interface. You can have single choice or multiple choice polling questions. They're a really great kind of alternative or complement to traditional face-to-face groups. A lot of customers are now using this particular product for homework exercises before they run in-person groups or before they run live online groups. And then clients have the opportunity to watch the groups as they're happening through a virtual back room. And what you're seeing here on the screenshot is an example of the discussion board interface with a polling question. And we can see that we have a few responses from respondents, and they're just providing a closed-ended response in this case to that quick poll question. But you actually have the opportunity to ask open-ended questions associated with this polling question as well. So lots of flexibility in the platform. This next screen talks about a little bit of our video data collection capabilities. This is our tagging interface. So you actually have the opportunity to, what we refer to this internally here at ITracks as single pass moderation. You can actually tag these videos as you're going through the discussion and get it ready for any type of reporting or coding, filtering basically on your codes, in this example of a shopping experience in a grocery store. This video capability really allows a great flexibility in terms of expanding upon the different methodologies that you might employ during your research engagement, and you can really allow participation from anywhere at any time, either geographically dispersed across North America, for instance. If you're looking to do research in all 4 quadrants, you can bring those people together into a single engagement or interface, and you can also do things like in-home ethnography, in-field research, and in-store research, which is what we're seeing here on the screenshot, and then even offline modes. We have a mobile offering which supports offline mode, so you can actually take video when you're not connected to the internet and upload it directly to our app, and as soon as you get back into a Wi-Fi zone or a cellular data zone, the media can automatically synchronize. You can even attach media or photos from your mobile device directly to our interfaces. So really the steps to conducting an online focus group with the discussion board in mind, but these steps actually apply to other online methodologies as well, is you would first recruit participants and send out their email invitations. And you can leverage ITracks recruiting services, or you can even engage with a recruiter that you're working with already and have them provide the recruiting for you and just come to ITracks for the technology. The email broadcast capability that you're seeing here in my screenshot is a great offering, and we're seeing a text-based email invite set up here, but you can actually set up HTML templates with your own company colors, schemes, and logos and send that out to your respondents directly from our interfaces. So here's the steps kind of in a great graphic or a visual representation of how this recruiting process works. So our screener development takes place. So you really want to be setting your expectations up front with your respondents and making sure that you've got a clear explanation of what is going to be expected of them, the timeline that you're expecting them to participate, and then of course disclosing what the incentive amounts would be. The online screener would then be programmed and tested. Once you get your screening in field, we're either going out to targeted sample or a client supplied list, and then you would receive daily updates from an ITracks project manager, and then you would also make a determination whether or not additional equipment needs to be sent out to the respondents. So whether it's screen protectors, for example, if you're doing some in-home usage testing, or it's webcams if you're conducting any webcam-based research, and some of your recruits don't have webcams, for instance. Also sending any of those things that takes a little bit of additional time as well, so you would want to build that into your recruiting timeline. So the mail out if applicable. Graphic is a great add to this flow diagram. And then once people are recruited, you actually are looking for phone confirmations from your ITracks project managers, any rescreening that takes place during the telephone confirmations, and then also we can provide technical checks on hardware. So for instance, if you're doing webcam-based focus groups, we do have a built-in technology that allows respondents to do a self-check, but we do also offer a service to call each individual respondent and make sure those webcams are working. And then if there's any testing of sample activities that you might be conducting in the research, you can do those either prior to the groups getting started or just in your first section of an asynchronous discussion board engagement. And then the ITracks project management team will also set up reminder calls and or emails to go out to the respondents either before the groups start or throughout the duration. So in a 3 or 5 day discussion board, we'll actually call everybody that needs to be called. We don't call people who've already participated, but we will call people that need to be called. And then of course the moderation is occurring and probing and things of that nature when you're conducting the actual research in the platform. So step 2 is really setting up the discussion guide and the stimuli. So if you have any whiteboards that you want to share with the respondents, you would set those up right inside the technology. So your discussion guides, whether they're created in a Word document format or a PowerPoint, they can be preloaded into the platform here. And typically you're asking about 10 to 15 questions per day in an ITracks discussion board platform to limit that respondent engagement time commitment to about 30 minutes, which is what we've found here at ITracks over the years as the ideal time commitment for respondents. So the great thing about this ITracks discussion board platform is that respondents can log in and participate at their own pace, and consumers really find this format appealing, and it's really easy to use. It's a wizard-based interface. Even the programming of the discussion guide is almost wizard-based in nature, so very easy for you to set these up and for participants to participate. Here in this next screenshot, you can actually see an example of the participant interface and pardon me, the moderator interface, but the participant interface is very much like what you're seeing here, and we're going through a question with a whiteboard stimuli loaded and asking questions. So we see that Natasha and Teresa have left responses, and actually we have segmentation enabled in this particular example, and you can actually see that they belong to the female segment here right in the screenshot. So step 4, we're actually working within the technology, and now we can access the transcript reporting. You can download any videos that have been uploaded to the discussion board. You can also generate heat maps if you're using our iMarket technology, which is a concept evaluation tool. And you can view all of these reports in the software. You can download offline copies. And we also have a really great filtering option here for your transcript. So for instance, if you're running a 5-day discussion board and you want to look at just your female responses, you can actually select the female segment and pull down just that transcript, or you can pull the whole thing down. It's really quite flexible in terms of what you can get out of the system. So here's some of the key features in the discussion board platform. We have our video tagging interface up here on this particular screenshot, and we can see that again it's an in-store exercise. This is an example of a golf shopping activity, and then we have the screenshot as well with the mobile device. That's an iPhone 6. And you can see that you have that ability to go in-store or in the user environment and leverage mobile capabilities for video data collection. Project time frame, typical, what we see is 3 to 5 days. We're saying 1 to 7 days here in our slide, but I would say it's probably either 3 or 5 days are the most typical run times for ITracks discussion boards. You also have 15 to 20 participants as kind of the optimum number of participants that are participating at any given time. The software does support up to 50 before additional charges are introduced, and then we support up to a maximum of 300 users in the platform at any given time. This is an asynchronous discussion, so it's not happening in real time. The discussion is also threaded over time, so you'll actually see respondents replying to each other inside of the discussion, and when you're probing respondents, you're actually replying to a specific response, and then you'll actually see threaded replies come below a moderator's probe. Another neat thing about the probing capability is moderators do have the option of sending out probing emails. So even if a respondent is not online and they don't see the probe come in through their mobile device, if they happen to be participating from mobile, they do have the ability to receive that email reminder when a moderator has probed them. We also have the report outputs, which are either transcripts, text-based transcripts with embedded video or pictures, and then we have the highlight reel capability, which is what we're seeing here on this screenshot, and then tagged videos. So you can actually create your own custom videos made up, for instance, of all your aha moments right within the technology. And then there are language capabilities are offered. So we have, this is the version 4 platform, which is currently available in 15 languages. We have 2 more languages coming here in the next couple of weeks, and then our older version of the software has just over 20 languages available. And then, of course, we've got the patented chat backroom for client observers to observe the discussion. Over here on this next slide, I'm actually showing how you can white label the software. So we've got a company brand here, Smith Industries, up on the discussion board platform. So we do have that option, and that's a free add-on to brand the software with your own company logos and colors. And then what we're also seeing here is our iMarket evaluation tool. This is for conducting concept evaluations. It can also be used for video, which is what we're seeing here. So it provides a way to secure qualitative feedback on videos. As a video is playing, respondents have the ability to pause the video and leave comments based on their experience with that video online. We also have some advanced capabilities built into the platform, including randomization. So if you are doing some concept evaluation research, and for instance you've got let's say 14 concepts that you're evaluating, but you can't send all your respondents through all 14, you can actually randomize a subset of those concepts, and maybe each participant only sees 5 of the 14 concepts, for instance, and that's all handled for you automatically by the technology. Here we're seeing a couple of examples of our mobile capabilities, and again our video data collection. We've got a tomato shopping exercise happening there, and then over here on this lower screenshot we have the iPad screenshots. We're actually making or taking advantage of that additional screen real estate we have on an iPad with our dedicated iPad app, and then we have an iPhone app as well, and we're seeing a video being played back here in the iPhone interface. So very much like Facebook in terms of attaching pictures and uploading videos right within the technology. So the ITracks mobile app is available for both iOS and Android devices. I did touch on this earlier, but I'm going to restate it. We do have 3 distinct apps. It's an iPhone app, an iPad app, and then an Android app. All 3 versions of our mobile software are seamlessly integrated with ITracks board. So whenever you book a discussion board, you have automatically the ability to access those groups in mobile. And mobile is really driven from the respondent's perspective because people were starting to participate from their iPads or their iPhones or their Android devices, and it was really the participants that were just screaming for mobile capabilities. So that's why, or one of the major reasons why we started to develop ITracks Mobile. Mobile also offers us a couple of really cool things in terms of doing in-store research or in-home ethnography, even in-event type research that we couldn't really do before, because you couldn't really ask respondents to lug their laptop around and take video from their webcam when they're doing in-store activities. Also, we used to ship out video cameras on a regular basis when we first got into video data collection, but really what mobile has done, because virtually all mobile devices or smart mobile devices have video camera capabilities. Everyone's got a video camera now in their pockets, and it's really made kind of that in-the-moment research capability very possible, and leads to some great research capabilities when you're in the moment versus recall, when you're having people recall their experiences when they're home in the evening. We also allow for inter-participant discussions right within our mobile suite of software, so you can actually, your participants can fully participate from mobile for the entire discussion versus going back and forth to the PC or the mobile version of the software. They can actually participate fully from mobile if you choose. So what I'm going to do next is jump into a quick software orientation of the platform, and I'm going to show you some of the things that we've been talking about during the presentation. So what you're seeing here is the main screen of the ITracks discussion board platform, and this is from the moderator's perspective. So what participants get when they log in is they just get the welcome to the discussion pane. And this text is completely customizable. This is the default canned text that's included with every discussion board that's provided. You'll also notice that the ITracks branding is currently applied, but we do have that ability to white label the software, and you can put your own company colors and logos here right inside the platform. We also have links to our mobile downloads. We also detect mobile devices, so if somebody logs in with an iPad, for instance, we'll detect that automatically, and they'll have a little pop-up come up and recommend that they download ITracks Mobile for a more seamless experience. We also have live chat support built in to the technology, and that is staffed by people here in our head office, and they are here Monday to Friday, 24 hours a day, and then over the weekend we switch over to email and telephone support, so we actually have support here 24/7. Also, these next two panes are the participant activity, so you can actually see when participants have last logged in. Now, this is my demonstration board, so you can see that I've got a lot of respondents who have not logged in a while. I will be logging in as William shortly from my mobile device, and I'll have a chance to share that with you as well. And then over here we have our client observer activity. So these are the observers who are watching the group as it unfolds, and they're able to actually interact with the moderator directly in the interface, and they can request probing questions. So client observers love that ability to log in and see how things are going, and they have the opportunity to log in from their mobile devices as well, because our mobile is available for all user types, not just participants. It's actually available for moderators and for client observers. So once a participant logs in, they actually come into this discussion tab. There was an instruction for them to click on the discussion tab in the prior screen, and they actually will get a button that takes them to their first question in the discussion board, which is here. This is our welcome page. You'll notice that there's a next button at the top here. So our participants are going to use previous and next buttons to navigate through the discussion. And we don't actually allow them to proceed typically because we use what's called sequential question logic. And what happens is it's very much like a survey. Participants are taken through the questions in a sequential order. Now, I did mention earlier, too, that we do have a randomization capability. So if you want participants to experience a series of questions in a random order, you can do that as well. And even though the participants are still using the previous and next buttons, they may experience the questions in different orders from what other participants are seeing. But generally speaking, speaking, most participants are all going through the questions in the same order. And if I jump ahead now using the topic navigation, this is typically how moderators and client observers will navigate through the software, is utilizing this topic navigation on the left-hand side, which is also available to participants, but it is a little bit faster for moderators to jump around in the discussion board by utilizing this capability. You'll actually see that I have video responses here in this particular question, because I've enabled video responses on my discussion board software. This is my son Luke, so he thought it would be great to take a picture of himself on my phone, a funny picture, and I got him back by posting it here to my discussion board and sharing it with you all on the webinar today. But you can see that I've got a lot of videos here on my software, on my demo board, and I'm actually going to go ahead and reply to one of these questions. So I'm going to reply to, I'm just going to scroll down a little bit further here. I'm going to reply to James' post here at the bottom, and I'm going to choose video. So this webcam interaction is going to come up here momentarily. You're going to see me today in real time. I'm going to hit the record button. So I just wanted to illustrate how easy it is to turn on that webcam feed. And you'll notice my camera's a little bit crooked, so I'm going to straighten it out there. But you'll notice that all I had to do was choose a video response when I was replying, and I can actually leave a video probing question as a moderator to this particular respondent. And here we have the send probe email. I can actually turn that on. Once I hit my post reply button, this respondent would actually receive an automatic email notification based on the probing question. I'm just going to hit the cancel button. I'm not going to post that video webcam, but I can reply again here with text. And you can actually see our text editor now, and I can actually leave a text response here right in the text area, and again I can send the probing email directly to this particular respondent, and then once I hit the post reply button, he would receive that email notification. So a really great feature that's available in the technology. The email invite that they receive with this probing email provides a hyperlink that they can click on and bring them directly to this point in the discussion board. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the cancel button. We're not going to bother with posting that reply because I did want to share with you my mobile interaction on this particular platform. And I'm going to bring up my mobile device here with AirPlay, and you're going to actually see me interacting with my device in real time once my screen share comes on. So just bear with me for a moment as we get that rolling. And maybe my reflector software is not up and running here. Let me just see if I can get that going here. Bear with me for one more moment. There we go. So now I'm logged into my mobile software, and this is the exact same discussion board. I'm going to jump into day one introductions, and we're going to go into your last vacation, which is where we were. That's where we are behind in the web-based version of the software. So I'm going to scroll down here, and we're going to take a look at that same question that we were replying to inside the software. So there's James' response. If I hit the reply button here, I'm going to choose a video response, and I'm going to flip my camera around here, so we're going to see me again in real time. So I'm actually leveraging the front-facing video camera on my iPhone now, and I'm recording a video directly to our interface. And I'm going to hit the stop button. What's going to happen now is I'm going to get presented with the choice to use this video, which I clicked use this video, and then I'm going to hit the submit button. And what's going to happen is that video is going to get uploaded directly into the discussion board software behind me. So if I click back into the discussion board platform, and if I scroll up to the top here and we just refresh this page, we're going to come back down and see if I've got a reply that's ready to go, and it looks like I do. I definitely have a reply here as well, and I can actually hit the play button on this video, and I can actually edit the video once it comes up here in my video editor, as long as the video has been converted and is ready for editing. Sometimes it takes just a few additional minutes to edit the video, and it looks like in this case it was not quite ready. So what we'll do is just refresh our page here one more time, and we'll maybe take a look at another video, an older video that I've recorded on a prior webinar, and we'll go ahead and edit this video. So there I am again. You can actually see me in the platform. This is called our video tagging interface, and again I refer to this as single pass moderation. I want my moderators to only look at these videos one time as they're going through the discussion and coding them. So I've created some custom categories here, and so you can actually scroll down to the bottom and add as many categories as you'd like. In this case, I'm going to choose an aha moment, and we're going to line up the code or the tag with where I'm at in the current video, and we'll just leave a quick comment here from Joel. So I'm leaving a text description so that I can actually refer to this tag and recall what the tag is about. I'm going to go ahead and save and close that tag, and now what I can do is I can scroll up to the top here and go into my video highlights reporting screen, and I can actually start to work with all the videos that have been recorded in this particular platform. So what we're seeing is all of our full-length videos first, and sorry about that, I've just got a phone call coming in here. I'm just going to disconnect my handset. But what we're seeing here is a series of full-length recorded videos, and I can actually go up to 7 pages here. I've got 7 pages of videos recorded in this particular discussion board. So again, you can see it's a very robust platform in terms of the number of videos that can be recorded and associated with your individual project. But I'm going to go ahead and filter on my aha moments. I can also filter on topics or questions, even segments, even users, just to make things a little bit easier when I'm working with our coding interface. But I can advance here to page 2 in the platform, and we can see the newest tag that I've created is the aha moment webinar for the ITracks board, and I can drag that down to my highlight reel, and I can grab a few more options here, and I can create my custom video. I can even view this video that I'm about to create right within my player, and you can see that I'm creating a 12-second video with these 4 tags, and I can actually just go ahead and hit the create video button now, and I can give it a file name and hit the save button. What happens is an MP4 file is being created right now. It's queued up, and once it's finished, I can actually click on the green down arrow. It's a download button, and I can pull that video down into my platform. And what's really great about this capability is that it really reduces the amount of time that you're spending with video analysis, and you don't have to necessarily spend a lot of additional time when you're doing this video-based research with this tool, and that's one thing that I really like about it. I can even include another category here called report quote, for instance, and that's going to actually integrate my report quotes. It's all organized by timestamp, and I can clear my video highlight reel here, and I can jump down and start creating and working with a new custom video that I'm creating based on these tags. So a lot of flexibility here in the video capabilities. Just going back into the discussion tab, one thing that I also wanted to point out as well, it's related to using mobile to create images, for instance, or pardon me, attach images from your photo library. So here's a quick example of a screen capture that I took from my mobile device. This is of a calorie tracking piece of software that I have loaded on my device, and I can actually take screenshots from mobile devices as I'm interacting with them. So this is the reason I brought this one up. This is a great example of utilizing ITracks Mobile to conduct research on mobile apps, which is another high use category for ITracks. Another couple capabilities that are pretty slick that are built into the technology. We can actually click on anyone's name at any time during the discussion as a moderator or client observer, and we can bring up a report on their story throughout this entire discussion. So I clicked on Luke, and I'm being advanced directly to that point in the discussion, but I can actually see how Luke's replying to all of the answers in this particular discussion. And I can even see his polling responses. We had a whiteboard posted here on this question, so he's got a reply to that whiteboard image. Just a really great capability that again enhances or creates efficiencies when you're doing your moderation in this particular platform. We can advance here to day 2, and we can take a look at some of our polling capabilities, which are built right into the platform. Again, we have a single choice question response here with just closed-ended responses. We're not allowing any open-ended responses here in the platform. We're also seeing a little bit of our different segments, how they're answering these questions. If I just advance to trip classification, I think I have a few more responses here on this one. And so I do have segments enabled on this particular discussion board, and I can actually go up to my groups drop down here, and I can grab just my males, for instance, and I can see this entire report change in real time based on now just my male responses, and all the other female responses have been filtered out. And this example also requires an open-ended response with the closed-ended response. So 2 different ways we can leverage polling capabilities within the platform. We can also ask multiple choice style quick poll questions as well. Clicking on the beaches question, we actually have an example of a whiteboard or stimuli that I've loaded here. This is 3 images that I've combined into a single image and then uploaded it to my whiteboard area on this particular question. And then I'm asking for responses from my respondents here. And these are, the majority here are text responses. And just a great example of how you can leverage the whiteboard area within the platform. So you can actually put videos here as well. You're not limited to just images, or you can even create text-based whiteboards and embed them here and associate them with a particular question. Scrolling down to day 4, we also have some advanced capabilities that are available within the platform. So I'm just going to go into a Nissan ad and hit the Start Exercise button. This is kind of a neat example as we can actually see a series of responses here, again from the moderator's perspective from Elsie. And so my respondents have been marking up this particular concept, and from the moderator and client observer's perspective, I get access to this reviewer's pane. The participant experience for this interface is identical to the moderator's perspective with the exception of this reviewer's pane. Participants can only see their own comments, but I can actually turn on Brent's comments here as well, even Gloria's comments, and we can actually see all of the open-ended responses here as we're going through and moderating this particular discussion. We also have a drawing tool, so if I turn everybody's responses off here, and we go to mine, you can actually see that I've drawn an arrow and a circle and then left a comment here right within the iMarket technology. So that's an example of the drawing tool and how it's working with iMarket. I'm going to close out of this interface, and I'm going to go into the reporting area. And we're going to take a quick look at this iMarket report, because this is where we can generate some great looking heat maps within the technology. So if I scroll down to our Nissan ad and click on the advanced reporting, I can actually see all the comments that have been left with this particular iMarket concept. And we first get our dashboard information. So this is just aggregate information about the types of comments that have been left. And we can also see a basic word frequency report. But this is really what is really neat about iMarket, is the ability to generate heat maps and then conduct filtering on these heat maps. And you can see here that I've got dislike, like, and question or confusing alias names. I can actually filter down on just my question or confusing alias name and hit the apply button, and that filters out all the other comments within this heat map. And we can actually see in our legend that we have up to 6 comments here right around this section. We can also use our region filters, and you can see here that I've broken out this concept into a series of different regions, and you can actually define these regions on the fly and then pull down reporting based on where comments have been left in these particular regions. So really some great capabilities within the iMarket platform. And this is not used just in qualitative research, but iMarket gets used quite extensively in quant-based surveys as well. So if you have and you're conducting quant-based research and you want to integrate this iMarket technology into, let's say, a Qualtrics survey or a Confirmit survey, or even your own proprietary survey platform, you can do that, which is a great offer. And our technology will actually take people in from an existing survey, allow them to complete the iMarket exercise, and then send them back to that survey. And that all happens very seamlessly to the respondents. We can also turn our comments on here. I'm going to turn my regions off, and we can actually go to normal mode or compact mode in this particular interface, and have that ability to show the data points coming up on this particular iMarket. So one other thing that I'm going to show you really quickly is the region filtering capability. So we can actually turn on, let's say, just our logo feedback. We're going to hit the apply button, and then we're going to go back to our alias names. We've got them all selected here, so we can actually see all the feedback that's been left on just the logo region in this particular heat map. So really, really great capability here in the iMarket platform. Not only do we have static image-based concept evaluation capabilities, but we also have the ability to collect iMarket feedback in videos. So I'm going to hit the continue button here, and again, I'm looking at this video from the moderator's perspective, but I can actually play this video back for you to see how it looks. From the moderator's perspective, again, I can actually click on these little down arrows, and I can see the comments that have been left by respondents. So this is something unique to ITracks, and we provide a great way to secure qualitative feedback on online videos or commercials, whatever video you may be testing. So this is, again, something that gets a lot of usage here at ITracks. From a reporting perspective, we also have a transcript engine. I want to just quickly show this to you as well. By default, we select the Word version of this transcript, but you can also download an Excel format, which is still a top-down transcript, which is by timestamp. But we also have an Excel response grid format, which organizes the transcript data more like survey data, so it makes it a little bit easier to do things like looking for common themes, for instance, especially if you have really big high-res monitors and multiple monitors, for instance. The Excel response grid format can really save a lot of time from an analysis perspective. The Word format, though, we'll just take a look at. There are filtering capabilities here, but I'm leaving them all selected by default. but we can bring up this transcript, and I'm also utilizing the navigation pane because this is a native Word document, so we create this navigation pane based on your topic labels and your question labels, and we can quickly jump into specific sections in the transcript, and we can even view our videos and pictures that we've recorded right within the technology. So a couple of great examples. I just have to actually hold the control key down, and I can click on any one of these videos, and that brings up a login page for me, and I can log in and I can take a look at that video online directly in the interface. That was kind of a funny video, but just a quick example of how you can interact with the media right within the platform. And then also here's our whiteboard that we posted on question 2.4 of beaches, so we actually see the context of the whiteboard and these text responses coming in to the transcript. So, and it's a really professional looking transcript, so this is a raw transcript document that you can download and send to your clients, and everything looks very clean and is very easy to read. Okay, I'm going to jump back into my PowerPoint presentation. I do have a couple more slides that I'd like to go through, and then we're going to open up the webinar for a bit of a Q&A exercise for just the last 5 or 10 minutes of our webinar today. So this study was actually conducted by ITracks and with one of our close partners, and this project or this case study didn't necessarily have a research objective other than what we were trying to uncover is how many people would be willing to download and record videos with ITracks Mobile. And we're actually testing response rates and cooperation rates under that scenario. So the participants used their own mobile devices and downloaded the ITracks mobile app and provided some great video responses. We actually saw that 53% of our participants submitted video responses with no interaction from our team in terms of reminder calling or instructions on how to download and utilize the app. This is based on just their initial email invitation. So that's kind of a really neat statistic. Normally we see about an 80% cooperation rate when we're actually phoning and reminding people on a daily basis and assisting with the installation of ITracks Mobile. We also did some additional research activities with iMarket. So we had respondents mark up an image, and we can see that we're using like and dislike and change data points here in our iMarket exercise, and the colors are associated to that. So we're seeing a lot of likes here around the steering wheel and the gauges on this particular image, and maybe a heavier concentration of dislikes around this little console area to the left of the steering wheel. So this is great feedback and things that you can take to your clients when you're doing either qualitative or quant-based research with concept evaluations. Here's an example with our comments enabled. In that area, we see our dislikes coming from our respondents in that particular area of focus. And then here are some of the sample videos that were recorded directly in the platform. So we've got some negative video here, and you can see that this is great quality video that's been recorded directly from it looks like an iPhone to me. A couple of different videos that have been strung together with the platform. So I know we're running a little bit short on time, so I wanted to make sure we opened up the webinar for questions. So I'm going to turn this back over to Garnett, and Garnett's going to facilitate a bit of a Q&A session. So go ahead, Garnett.
Great. Thanks a lot, Joel, for the great presentation. All right, so we have some questions that have been submitted by the chat area. Feel free to enter your questions at the bottom of the GoToWebinar panel in the chat area. All right, so we have a few questions here. One of the questions is, Joel, what type of feedback are you receiving from participants that are using the mobile app?
Well, it's overwhelmingly positive feedback actually from the respondents. They really like the fact that we have an option for conducting mobile, and we're actually on about our 7th or 8th version of ITracks Mobile. So we've actually been making subtle improvements over every iteration of the platform, and our video data collection is very robust now. So when we're asking the respondents to record videos, the success rate is extremely high now, whereas maybe in the past we were only seeing about 70% of our respondents successful with video responses. Now we're right up near 100% in terms of success rates, in particular with video responses in the technology.
Great, thanks. What are some of the typical challenges when first starting on qualitative boards?
Really, the main challenge that I talk about, or that I talk about with clients, is the fact that they're sometimes surprised at how much data they get back. So, with a discussion board, you really have you're really allowing the respondents time to formulate and think about their responses. So you might actually generate a couple of paragraphs worth of a response to a question versus either a single sentence or maybe 2 sentences in a live focus group setting, whether it's in person or online. So you do see quite a bit more data coming in from a discussion board experience. So we recommend discussion boards when you want to do deeper dives with your respondents, or maybe when you're looking at doing longitudinal type activities, or just a typical 3 to 5 day discussion board is a great way to kind of get started with this medium, and it's also really well, or pardon me, it's a great tool when you want to do what we call interview type questions. So when you're doing things like journaling or diaries, and you want to have one-on-one discussions with a group of, let's say, 25 respondents, you can do that right in this technology as well.
Great, thanks, Joel. All right, the next question here. How do you distinguish a discussion board methodology from an insight community?
Really, the distinction there would be the shorter term or duration of the project. So a 3 to 5 day engagement, or even 14 days, or even up to a month, I'd consider more of a discussion board engagement, where you've got really targeted questions either every day or every couple of days, and you're really focused with the respondents, and you're expecting them to answer every single question or participate in every single activity. The distinction that I draw upon when I go to an insight community or a micro community is it would typically run longer than 30 days, and then you start to shift your incentive payout structure as well, and we really like to recommend more of an activity-based incentive engagement model, where respondents are paid based on their participation, and then your response rates are going to drop maybe from 80% to that 30 to 40, even 50% range, because not all respondents would be expected to participate in every activity, and then your numbers are going to go up as well. So you might be recruiting 50 to 100 people to participate in a micro community engagement versus 15 to 25, on a shorter kind of 3 to 5 day targeted research engagement for a standard running time discussion board.
Great, thanks, Joel. In a typical project, what % engage with the board via computer versus mobile device, example, iPad or mobile phone?
That's a great question, actually. We do have statistics. I don't have them right at my fingertips, but that's something that we can maybe answer after the webinar. I'll take my best educated guess right now is I would say around 10% of respondents are going to be participating from mobile on any given project. Now that's without kind of prompting them to or requiring mobile. If you're doing any video data collection or in-home ethnography or in-store activities, then the mobile participation is going to be much higher, near 100% if you're requiring it as part of the research engagement. But just generically, it's probably around 10% right now, but we do have those stats available, and I can provide a specific answer on that after the webinar.
Great. Joel, I have reviewed those, and that would be, fairly close to where they're at. All right. Next question here. How confidential is the discussion board? So in the context of perhaps participants copying or taking information that's being presented?
Well, very confidential in the sense that the discussion board technology is only available during the time that the questions have been posted. So, for instance, if you're running a 3-day discussion board, the participants only have access to the discussion board software for 3 days. Now, you have a couple of parts there to that question. So in terms of protecting any proprietary information, perhaps around new concepts that you're considering doing some product development in, the way we handle that these days is we ask the respondents to fill out non-disclosure agreements during the recruiting process, and that generally is enough to ensure that that your proprietary information is protected. In the past, we did leverage some anti-screen capture technology within the platform, but now with the penetration of mobile devices where everyone's got basically a camera or a video camera in their pockets, you can't prevent them from taking pictures or video of what they're seeing on their screen. So we've moved away from technology to prevent that from happening, and gone over to more of a non-disclosure agreement approach, which has been very effective.
Great, thanks, Joel. All right, next question. Can the comment piece of the heat map application be used in a quant as well as the basic heat map output? So clicks on specific areas.
Yes, yeah. We saw in the presentation, just back a couple of slides, the heat map output here. So we've got a couple of different examples. So this is a qualitative heat map, but you can definitely run the same report from a quant perspective as well, and that's where I start to see the region filtering really get used, especially if you're dealing with let's say 1,000 completes. There's obviously going to be a lot more data points collected. And then the one thing that I didn't show during the presentation is we do have the ability to download Excel-based versions of these heat maps, and in Excel you can actually see the text comment that's been left as well as the region it was left in, so that makes it very easy when you're coding your responses to apply them to a specific region. So for instance, you could see all the dislikes here on this left of the steering wheel console, and you could actually, perhaps make a recommendation here that maybe this control design should be changed to the manufacturer.
Great, thanks. For a longer-term study, approximately 3 months-ish, how do you stagger the questions out, days, questions per day, etc.? Can you please talk a little more about the frequency in a longitudinal study?
Yep, definitely. So what we recommend for longitudinal is a minimum of 1 engagement per month. What we've employed here at ITracks is typically we might ask questions on Tuesday, for instance, and then we ask the respondents to come back on Thursday and just make sure there's no probes that we're looking for, no additional follow-up questions that we may post. So in a lot of our most successful longitudinal engagements, that's what I see is it's a Tuesday and a Thursday Thursday, where we're asking the respondents to come in and participate. And you don't have to use Tuesday and Thursday, but we're using 2 regular days and asking the respondents to come in, and that's part of our research plan and our research schedule for the community. So the respondents are accustomed after their first 3 or 4 weeks that they're always coming in on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and that's really where we see the most success. And that's just based on our experience on running these over the last number of years.
Great. So we have time for just one more question here. There's actually a couple of questions that are similar. Can you adjust whether respondents see each other's responses, and can the respondents send private messages to the moderator?
Yes. Yeah, I can say yes to both of those questions. So respondents do have the ability to send private messages to the moderator. It's just a little checkbox on their interface. And we also have the ability to set up the discussion board in what's called interview mode, and that can be used for journaling or diary type activities. And in interview mode, even though you may have 25 respondents logged into the same discussion board, if you've programmed it in interview mode, to the respondent's perspective, it looks like just a one-on-one conversation between him or her and the moderator.
Great, thank you. All right, we are to the end of our time. I thank you all for attending. I wanted to just direct you to a couple great resources. If you go to ITracks website, www.itracks.com/resources, there are lots of great archived webinars, product demonstrations, articles, case studies, and lots of neat resources that will support researchers as they adopt some new innovative methodologies. There's one particular resource that for this methodology that a longtime client of ITracks, Liz Van Patten, has presented in our celebrity series that we did this past spring, Shifting Discussions Boards into High Gear, and she talks about the methodology and how she's applied it to her research practice. Thanks a lot, Joel, and thank you everybody for taking the time to attend the webinar today.
Thanks, everyone. It's been my pleasure. Looking forward to seeing you all again in a future webinar.